C2 level English phrases like be that as it may, suffice it to say, for what it's worth, and many more. Hello and welcome to English Speaking 360. My name is Josh. Today I will teach you 8 very natural phrases that native speakers often use in educated conversations, not in everyday basic conversations, in more high-level conversations. Let's get started. Be that as it may. Quality is our top priority. But we only have 2 days left to finish the project. Be that as it may, we shouldn't lower our quality standards. Be that as it may. What could it mean? Here's the meaning. Even if what you said is true, my opinion or my decision doesn't change. Even if you're right that we only have 2 days left to finish the project, my decision doesn't change. Our top priority is quality. Here's another example. Oh my gosh, that restaurant is really expensive. Be that as it may, it's still the best place for our anniversary. Be that as it may, even though you are right that that restaurant is super expensive, it is still the best place and I will not change my mind. That's beside the point. You're fired. But I was only 10 minutes late. That's beside the point. The meeting had already started when you arrived. That's beside the point. What does it mean? Here's the meaning. What you said isn't the issue we're discussing. So I was only 10 minutes late is not the issue. The issue is that you arrived when our important meeting had already started. That is very unprofessional. If it had been a regular day, being late 10 minutes is no big deal. But on the day of an important meeting, you're fired. Here's another example. This applicant has lots of experience. That's beside the point. She doesn't have the required license. So having a lot of experience is not what we're discussing here because the applicant needs to have a special license to get the job, and that applicant does not have it. So having a lot of experience is beside the point. For what it's worth. Everyone said I should quit my job. For what it's worth, I think you should stay to gain experience. For what it's worth. Can you guess the meaning? It means my opinion may not matter much, but here's what I think. So maybe my opinion is not important, but I think you should stay a little bit longer and get more experience. Here's another example. I'm not sure anyone liked my speech. For what it's worth, I thought it was excellent. My opinion might not be important because other people's opinion is more important than just my own, but I'm still telling you that I thought your speech was excellent. Suffice it to say. How did your blind date go? Suffice it to say there won't be a second date. Suffice it to say. This one is a difficult expression. It means I'll give one short statement because that's enough to explain everything. I will say no more after that. Suffice it to say there won't be a second date. It was so bad, but that's the only thing I will say about it. Here's another example. Was the hotel nice? Suffice it to say we asked for a refund. Only one short statement to summarize everything I could say about that terrible hotel. We asked for a refund. As luck would have it. Did you have enough money to pay? As luck would have it, I found a $20 bill hidden in my wallet. As luck would have it. It means by chance something happened. So in this case, by chance I found a $20 bill hidden in my wallet. One more example. Were you able to see the doctor? As luck would have it, someone canceled their appointment as I arrived. As luck would have it, by chance, someone canceled their appointment just as I was arriving at the doctor's office. That being said, are you enjoying your new job? The hours are long and the work is stressful. That being said, it's a very interesting job. That being said, however, I also want to mention this. That's what it means. So here you have to use a statement, then that being said right after, and finally an important exception that goes against what you said in your original statement. So here, the hours are long, the work is stressful. Both of those things are very bad things. However, it's a very interesting job. That being said, it's a very interesting job. Here's another example. How's the new apartment? It's smaller than I'd hoped. That being said, the location is fantastic. That being said, however, the location is fantastic. It's very small, but the location is amazing. Here I'm going to give you another expression. Instead of that being said, you can also say, having said that. It's smaller than I'd hoped. Having said that, the location is fantastic. That's another great way to say that being said and to introduce an important exception. To say the least. Were you nervous before your speech? I was terrified, to say the least. To say the least means that's actually a weak description. It's an understatement. I was more than terrified. But I'm just going to say the least I can say, and the least I can say is I was terrified. I'm not going to say that I peed my pants. One more example. How was traffic this morning? It was frustrating, to say the least. So frustrating is the minimum he can say. He could say so much more, but he decides not to say any more. It was frustrating, to say the least. It goes without saying. How can I improve my English? It goes without saying that you need to practice as often as possible. It goes without saying. It means everyone already knows this. It's obvious. Everyone knows you need to practice as often as possible if you want to improve your English. It goes without saying that you should also subscribe to my channel. Here's one more example. It goes without saying that you should wash your hands before cooking. Everyone knows you should wash your hands before cooking. It goes without saying that. Did you notice that is used only when it's part of a full sentence. However, you could also use it like this. You should wash your hands before cooking. It goes without saying. In that case, you don't need the that because it goes without saying is a standalone expression as well. Here's the summary of the expressions that we've studied today. The first one, be that as it may. It means even if that's true. Be that as it may, we have to follow the rules. That's beside the point. That's not the main issue. That's beside the point. You forgot to do it. For what it's worth, it may not matter, but for what it's worth, I think you sang well tonight. Suffice it to say, I'll keep it short because this says enough. Suffice it to say, we won't be going back there. As luck would have it, by chance. As luck would have it, the train was delayed. We got to the station a little late, but we were lucky because the train was delayed and we were able to catch it. That being said, however, it's expensive. That being said, it's built to last. It will last a long time. To say the least, that's an understatement. I was nervous, to say the least. And finally, it goes without saying. It's obvious. It goes without saying that safety comes first. Take a screenshot of this if you want to practice these expressions by yourself later. Good job, guys! For extra practice, visit my website, EnglishSpeaking360.com, and watch the other videos on the right-hand side for other high-level expressions. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye!